Let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear. Your future is not decided by luck. It's not decided by talent. It's not decided by where you were born. It is decided by what you do before 8 a.m. Every single morning you wake up with two choices. You can build or you can break. You can move forward or you can fall behind. And the world will not pause while you decide. The first hour of your morning is not just a segment of time. It is a declaration of direction. Before the world fully wakes up, before messages start flooding in, before demands pull at your attention, you have a window of control. In that quiet space, your actions shape your mental state for the entire day. If you rush, react, and surrender to distraction, you begin your day in defense mode. But if you move with purpose, structure, and clarity, you establish authority over your schedule. That authority carries into your decisions, influencing how you respond to pressure and opportunity. Most people underestimate how fragile focus is in the early hours. The mind is highly impressionable in the morning, absorbing whatever stimulus you feed it first. If the first thing you consume is noise, comparison, or chaos, your thinking becomes scattered. However, if you feed it intention, reflection, or discipline, your thoughts align with your goals. The difference between reacting and directing is subtle but powerful. Reacting allows circumstances to dictate your mood and pace. Directing ensures that your priorities lead your behavior, strengthening your ability to remain steady throughout the day. Momentum is created through early action. When you complete a meaningful task before most people have even started their day, you gain psychological leverage. That early accomplishment signals progress, and progress fuels confidence. Instead of playing catch-up, you operate from a position of advancement. This momentum reduces procrastination because you have already proven to yourself that you can execute. It also decreases anxiety since important tasks are addressed before distractions accumulate. Starting strong does not guarantee perfection, but it significantly increases the probability of sustained productivity. Energy management is deeply connected to how your morning unfolds. When you wake up with structure, your body and mind adjust to a predictable rhythm. Consistent sleep, hydration, movement, and focus create a stable foundation for performance. In contrast, irregular mornings generate unnecessary stress. Rushing creates tension, and tension drains energy that could be invested into meaningful work. By organizing your first hour intentionally, you conserve mental strength for challenges ahead. Stability in the morning translates into endurance later, enabling you to approach obstacles with clarity instead of frustration. Clarity is another gift of a controlled morning. When you define your priorities early, you eliminate ambiguity. Instead of reacting to every demand equally, you know which tasks deserve attention. This prevents the common trap of busy work that feels productive but yields little progress. Intentional mornings encourage planning and reflection, allowing you to align daily actions with long-term objectives. Without clarity, effort becomes scattered and inconsistent. With clarity, effort becomes strategic, compounding gradually towards significant achievement and reinforcing a sense of purposeful direction. Emotional regulation also begins with how you start your day. If you wake up rushed and overwhelmed, your emotional threshold lowers. Small inconveniences feel exaggerated and patience diminishes. Conversely, a calm, deliberate morning strengthens composure. Taking time to center yourself reduces impulsive reactions and improves decision-making. This emotional stability enhances relationships and professional interactions. By securing your mindset early, you prevent external factors from easily disrupting your equilibrium. The ability to maintain composure under pressure is cultivated quietly through consistent, intentional beginnings. Discipline in the morning reinforces identity. When you repeatedly choose effort over ease, you internalize the belief that you are reliable. This belief influences future behavior because actions align with self-perception. If you see yourself as someone who wins mornings, you are less likely to sabotage your progress later. Identity becomes a guiding force, reducing internal debate. Instead of negotiating with comfort, you act in accordance with your standards. Over time, the disciplined morning becomes automatic, not forced, strengthening the consistency that underpins lasting success. The cumulative effect of controlled mornings extends beyond daily productivity. Weeks of intentional starts build into months of steady advancement. Those months shape years of growth. While individual mornings may seem insignificant, their repetition constructs your trajectory. Each sunrise offers a new opportunity to direct your path. By protecting that first hour and treating it as foundational rather than optional, you establish a pattern of authority over your life. Authority over your mornings gradually becomes authority over your future. shaping outcomes through consistent, deliberate daily decisions. When the alarm sounds in the quiet darkness of early morning, it is more than just a signal to wake up. It is a test of character. In that moment, there is no audience, no applause, no external pressure forcing you to move. It is a private confrontation between your ambition and your comfort. The choice you make within those first seconds reveals more about your future than any motivational speech ever could. Whether you rise immediately or reach for the snooze button, you are reinforcing a pattern that shapes your identity and determines the direction of your discipline. The temptation to stay in bed often feels harmless. After all, a few extra minutes of sleep seem insignificant. However, the decision is not about minutes, it is about standards. When you repeatedly delay action in small moments, you train your mind to prioritize comfort over commitment. That habit spreads into other areas of your life. You begin postponing difficult tasks, avoiding uncomfortable conversations, and delaying progress. The alarm becomes symbolic of every opportunity that demands effort. Each time you choose ease instead of action, you strengthen the version of yourself that hesitates under pressure. Rising when you promised yourself you would builds internal authority. It sends a clear message to your mind that your goals matter more than temporary comfort. This authority compounds over time. The more consistently you act according to your commitments, the stronger your self-discipline becomes. You begin to trust your decisions because they are followed by action. This trust influences how you approach challenges later in the day. When obstacles appear, you rely on your proven ability to move forward despite resistance, reinforcing a cycle of resilience and personal accountability. The early morning environment amplifies this test because it removes distractions. There are no urgent messages demanding your attention and no immediate external obligations forcing you to act. Your choice is purely internal. Without outside influence, you confront your own mindset directly. This solitude exposes your true priorities. If you rise with intention, you demonstrate control over impulse. If you delay, you reveal susceptibility to comfort. The simplicity of the moment makes it powerful. It is not dramatic, yet its quiet significance shapes the consistency that defines your long-term growth. Over time, these morning decisions create a pattern that extends beyond waking hours. If you consistently conquer the first challenge of the day, you approach subsequent tasks with greater confidence. You start your day with a victory, and that victory fuels momentum. Momentum reduces procrastination because you have already established progress. Conversely, beginning your day with avoidance can create a subtle sense of defeat. That feeling may not be obvious, but it influences how you handle future responsibilities. The first choice of the day often determines the tone of everything that follows. Character is built through repeated actions, not grand declarations. Many people speak confidently about their ambitions but struggle to follow through when discipline is required. The alarm presents a daily opportunity to align words with behavior. It is a practical demonstration of commitment. Each time you rise without negotiation, you reinforce integrity within yourself. Integrity strengthens identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who honors commitments even when inconvenient. This self-perception influences your standards in other areas, encouraging consistency in work, health, and personal development. The struggle in those early seconds is not physical exhaustion alone. It is mental resistance. Your mind searches for justification to remain comfortable. It may remind you of how tired. Do you feel or suggest that one missed morning will not matter? Recognizing this resistance as part of the growth process is essential. Instead of viewing discomfort as a barrier, you see it as an opportunity to strengthen willpower. Each victory over hesitation increases your capacity to handle larger challenges, gradually expanding your threshold for discipline and endurance. Treating the alarm as a test transforms your perspective on mornings. Instead of resenting the interruption, you recognize it as a chance to practice control. This shift in mindset changes your relationship with effort. You stop viewing discipline as punishment and start seeing it as empowerment. With every intentional rise, you accumulate evidence of your reliability. This evidence strengthens confidence and reduces internal doubt. Over weeks and months, the repeated act of choosing action over comfort reshapes your standards, reinforcing a disciplined identity that influences every dimension of your life. Comfort compounds quietly, just like discipline does. The difference is that comfort feels harmless in the moment. It feels deserved, small, insignificant. Hitting snooze one time does not seem like a life decision. Skipping one workout does not feel like surrender. Delaying one important task does not appear dangerous. But habits are not formed in dramatic moments. They are formed in repetition. What you choose daily becomes who you are gradually. Every time you choose ease over effort, you strengthen that pattern. And over months, that pattern defines your identity more than your intentions ever will. Discipline works the same way, but it demands more from you up front. When you choose to wake up early, to move your body, to focus before distractions, you may not see immediate results. There is no dramatic transformation overnight. However, those small acts begin stacking. One disciplined morning leads to another. One focused hour leads to consistent productivity. Progress may feel slow, but it accumulates beneath the surface. Just as comfort compounds laziness, discipline compounds strength. The direction depends entirely on which pattern you repeat most often during the early hours of your day. The danger of comfort is that it disguises itself as balance. It tells you that rest is necessary, that you should not push too hard, that you deserve to relax. While rest is important, comfort becomes destructive when it replaces growth. When comfort becomes your default response to difficulty, you avoid the very actions that build resilience. The more you avoid discomfort, the more fragile your tolerance becomes. Small challenges start feeling overwhelming. What once required moderate effort now feels exhausting because you have trained yourself to retreat instead of advance. Discipline, on the other hand, expands your capacity gradually. The first week may feel difficult. The second week feels demanding. By the third week, what once seemed impossible begins to feel manageable. Your body adapts, your mind adapts, your standards rise. This adaptation is the result of repetition. When you consistently choose effort, your threshold for discomfort increases. You begin to handle stress more effectively. Tasks that intimidated you before become routine. The compounding effect is not loud, but it is powerful, shaping a stronger version of you over time. Compounding also influences confidence. When you repeatedly choose comfort, you accumulate evidence that you avoid difficulty. This evidence weakens self-belief. You may speak confidently about your goals, but internally you doubt your follow-through. In contrast, consistent discipline builds undeniable proof of capability. Each completed action becomes a reference point. You remember that you woke up early yesterday, that you completed difficult tasks last week, that you stayed focused despite temptation. These memories reinforce belief, and belief fuels future effort without constant reliance on external motivation. Another subtle effect of compounding habits is how they shape your environment. Disciplined mornings often lead to organized schedules, healthier routines, and clearer priorities. These elements reinforce each other, creating a positive cycle. Comfort-driven habits create the opposite. Disorganization leads to stress, stress leads to avoidance, avoidance leads to further chaos. Over time, your surroundings begin reflecting your patterns. Order and clarity stem from repeated intentional action. Disorder and frustration stem from repeated neglect. The trajectory of your life becomes visible in the structure of your daily habits. Many people underestimate the timeline of compounding because results are not immediate. They expect dramatic change within days and become discouraged when it does not appear. However, compounding works quietly at first. The visible transformation often occurs after months of consistent action. By the time others notice your progress, you have already built the foundation through disciplined repetition. The effort invested early multiplies gradually, producing outcomes that appear sudden, but were actually constructed patiently through daily commitment. Understanding that comfort and discipline both compound places responsibility back in your hands. Every morning presents another opportunity to reinforce one pattern or the other. You are either strengthening your resilience or weakening it. There is no neutral choice. Small decisions accumulate into long-term consequences. The power of compounding means that even modest improvements, practiced consistently, lead to significant transformation. By recognizing this principle, you begin aiding each morning not as an isolated event, but as a building block shaping the future you are steadily constructing through repetition. Winning the first hour of your day creates a psychological advantage that most people underestimate. Before distractions begin, before obligations demand attention, you have a small window where your actions carry amplified impact. If you use that hour intentionally, you establish control over your schedule instead of reacting to it. Completing a meaningful task early shifts your mindset from hesitation to execution. You begin the day with proof that you can move forward decisively. That proof influences your posture, your thinking, and your energy, creating a sense of stability that supports productivity throughout the remaining hours. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in personal development. When you take action early, even small action, it reduces resistance toward future tasks. The brain prefers consistency, and once movement begins, it becomes easier to continue. However, if you delay action in the morning, inertia grows. Procrastination expands, making each task feel heavier than it actually is. The difference between starting strong and starting slow may appear minor, but over time it significantly alters output. Momentum either accelerates progress or reinforces stagnation, depending on how you choose to use your first hour. Clarity also increases when the morning is structured. Without a defined focus, the day can quickly dissolve into scattered effort. Notifications, messages, and unexpected demands fragment attention. By prioritizing your most important task in the first hour, you protect it from interference. This ensures that progress occurs before chaos has an opportunity to interrupt. Structured mornings reduce the need for constant decision-making, conserving mental energy for creative or strategic thinking. And later, when clarity guides your early actions, you minimize wasted effort and increase the likelihood of meaningful accomplishment. Emotional stability often depends on how the day begins. If you wake up rushing, reacting, and feeling behind, stress accumulates quickly. That stress influences how you respond to minor frustrations. Small inconveniences can trigger disproportionate reactions because your baseline is already tense. Starting calmly and intentionally lowers this baseline. You enter conversations with patience and approach problems with measured responses. Emotional control strengthens professional relationships and personal interactions. A composed morning does not eliminate challenges, but it equips you to handle them without unnecessary agitation. Winning the first hour also reinforces discipline through repetition. Each intentional start strengthens the habit of prioritizing growth over comfort. Over time, the struggle to begin decreases because your identity shifts toward consistency. You begin to expect productivity from yourself rather than hoping for it. This expectation simplifies decisions. Instead of debating whether to act, you act because it aligns with who you have become. Discipline transitions from forced effort to practiced behavior, supported by the accumulated victories of early mornings, won through consistent, focused action. Energy management becomes more efficient when the first hour includes deliberate preparation. Activities such as planning, movement, reflection, or skill development provide a stable foundation for performance. When energy is directed purposefully at the start, it circulates throughout the day more effectively. In contrast, aimless beginnings scatter focus and reduce stamina. By intentionally engaging your mind and body early, you regulate rhythm and pace. This regulation reduces burnout because tasks are approached strategically rather than impulsively. Sustainable productivity grows from controlled beginnings rather than rushed reactions. Confidence grows quietly from repeated morning victories. Each time you complete a planned action before external pressure forces you to, you reinforce self-belief. You know you can rely on yourself because you have demonstrated it consistently. This confidence influences how you approach larger challenges. Difficult projects seem manageable because you have already built evidence of your reliability. The first hour becomes a training ground where discipline and belief are strengthened daily, preparing you to confront complex responsibilities with steadiness and assurance. Over weeks and months, the effect of winning the first hour compounds into measurable results. Small daily progress accumulates into significant advancement. What once required effort becomes routine. Tasks that felt intimidating become familiar. The structure created in the early hours shapes how you allocate time, manage priorities, and pursue long-term goals. By consistently starting with intention, you transform the trajectory of your day and gradually reshape the direction of your life through repeated, deliberate action practiced at the very beginning of each morning. Identity is not formed in dramatic moments. It is formed in repeated decisions made when no one is watching. The way you begin your morning slowly shapes how you see yourself. If you consistently wake up with intention, take action, and honor your commitments, you begin to internalize the belief that you are disciplined. That belief influences your posture, your tone, and your expectations. Conversely, if you regularly surrender to comfort, you reinforce the identity of someone who hesitates. Morning actions are small signals that accumulate, quietly defining whether you view yourself as reliable or inconsistent. The power of identity lies in its influence over behavior. Once you believe you are a disciplined person, your actions align with that belief automatically. You do not debate whether to follow through. You act because it feels natural. This alignment reduces mental friction. Instead of negotiating with yourself each morning, you execute your routine with clarity. However, if your identity is tied to procrastination or inconsistency, discipline feels forced. You resist structure because it conflicts with your self-image. Changing your morning habits gradually rewrites this internal narrative, reshaping how you perceive your capabilities. Morning discipline acts as a mirror, reflecting who you are becoming. When you rise early and engage in meaningful work, you prove to yourself that your goals matter. This proof strengthens your internal standards. Standards determine the minimum level of behavior you accept from yourself. If your standard is comfort, you settle quickly. If your standard is growth, you demand more. Each disciplined morning raises that standard slightly. Over time, you expect excellence from yourself in other areas, including work, health, and relationships. The habit of intentional beginnings extends far beyond the early hours. Confidence grows from alignment between intention and action. Many people feel frustrated because their goals do not match their habits. They speak about ambition but struggle with consistency. This gap creates doubt. When your morning routine reflects your aspirations, that gap narrows. You feel congruent because your behavior supports your vision. This congruence reduces anxiety and strengthens focus. Instead of wondering whether you are capable, you operate with quiet assurance. Each morning becomes a demonstration of integrity, reinforcing the connection between what you say you want and what you actually do. Identity built through disciplined mornings is resilient. When challenges arise, you rely on the habits you have cultivated. Because you have practiced self-control daily, you are less likely to crumble under pressure. The routine you maintain provides stability during uncertainty. This stability anchors your mindset, preventing emotional overreactions. A disciplined identity acts as a foundation, keeping you grounded when circumstances shift unexpectedly. The more consistently you begin your day with structure, the more durable your self-image becomes, enabling you to adapt without losing confidence. Your environment also responds to your identity. When you operate with discipline, others perceive reliability and strength. They notice consistency in your behavior and may adjust their expectations accordingly. While external recognition is secondary, it reinforces your internal standards. More importantly, you begin attracting opportunities aligned with your habits. Consistency signals readiness. Those who demonstrate reliability are often entrusted with greater responsibility. The disciplined identity you cultivate in private gradually influences how you are treated publicly, creating alignment between self-perception and external perception. Changing identity requires patience because it is the result of repetition. One productive morning does not redefine you. However, dozens of intentional mornings gradually shift your internal narrative. You stop describing yourself as someone who struggles with discipline. Instead, you see yourself as someone who executes. This shift reduces internal conflict. Decisions become simpler because they align with your new standards. The morning routine becomes less about forcing action and more about expressing who you have become through consistent effort and deliberate focus. The version of you that emerges from disciplined mornings is stronger, clearer, and more controlled. This transformation is subtle at first, but over time it becomes undeniable. You begin to carry yourself differently because you trust your habits. The early hours become a daily reminder of your capacity for growth. By repeatedly choosing intention over impulse, you construct an identity rooted in consistency. That identity influences every subsequent decision, reinforcing the direction of your future through steady, disciplined action practiced at the start of each day. Your future is not created in distant years. It is shaped in the quiet decisions you make each morning. Long-term success often feels abstract, almost unreachable, because it exists far ahead in time. However, its foundation is built in daily routines. The way you wake up, the thoughts you entertain, and the actions you prioritize begin directing your trajectory immediately. Each morning serves as a checkpoint where you either align with your long-term goals or drift away from them. The distance between where you are and where you want to be is shortened or widened by the discipline practiced at sunrise. Small decisions may appear insignificant when viewed in isolation. Choosing to plan your day, to exercise, to read, or to focus on meaningful work does not produce immediate transformation. Yet repetition transforms these choices into powerful forces. When you act with intention daily, those actions accumulate into measurable growth. Skills sharpen, confidence strengthens, and clarity deepens. Conversely, repeated avoidance compounds into stagnation. Each time you delay or distract yourself, you reinforce habits that hinder progress. The future you experience months from now is a direct result of which pattern you choose to repeat consistently. Time magnifies your habits. Disciplined practice today multiplies quietly over weeks and months, producing outcomes that may seem sudden, but were carefully constructed. The early mornings you protect become investments in your long-term potential. By dedicating focused time before distractions interfere, you create a competitive advantage. That advantage grows steadily because it is reinforced daily. Many people wait for dramatic opportunities to change their lives, yet transformation usually occurs through repeated small actions. When those actions align with your vision, time works in your favor rather than against you. Clarity about your future strengthens morning discipline. When you understand what you are building, waking up with purpose becomes easier. Without direction, mornings feel optional, and effort lacks urgency. Vision provides context for discipline. It reminds you that every early action is connected to something larger than the present moment. Instead of viewing the morning as another routine, you see it as a step toward your desired outcome. This connection between present effort and future reward sustains commitment, especially during periods when results are not yet visible. Consistency also reshapes how you perceive opportunity. When you cultivate disciplined mornings, you become more prepared to recognize and seize chances that arise. Preparation enhances awareness. You are mentally sharper, physically energized, and strategically focused. Opportunities that others overlook become visible because your habits position you to act decisively. The future is influenced not only by effort, but by readiness. Daily structure ensures that when critical moments appear, you respond effectively. The discipline practiced in private creates capability that manifests when circumstances demand action. Your mindset evolves alongside your habits. As you repeat, choose growth over comfort, you internalize a belief in your ability to influence outcomes. This belief alters how you approach challenges. Instead of feeling powerless or dependent on luck, you trust in your preparation. Morning discipline reinforces this confidence by providing daily evidence of your commitment. Over time, the connection between effort and progress becomes undeniable. You recognize that your future is not random but responsive to your consistency, strengthening your resolve to maintain structured beginnings. Patience is essential when shaping the future through daily action. Because change is gradual, it can be tempting to underestimate its impact. You may not notice immediate differences in performance or results. However, patience allows compounding to take effect. The discipline you practice now becomes the baseline for future achievements. Each morning strengthens the habits that will define your long-term identity. Progress may feel slow, but it is steady. Trusting the process prevents discouragement and encourages continued effort, even when visible rewards are delayed. Ultimately, your mornings determine whether your future drifts aimlessly or moves intentionally. By treating each sunrise as an opportunity to align with your goals, you exercise control over your trajectory. The structure you establish early influences your decisions throughout the day, reinforcing discipline across weeks and months. The repetition of intentional mornings builds momentum that carries forward into larger achievements. Through consistent, deliberate action at the start of each day, you steadily shape the direction and quality of the life you are constructing through focused commitment.